Hi guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name is Rebecca. So this video is a continuation of chapter 18 database. If you have not watched the part 1 where we discuss the meaning of flat file database, relational database, how to create primary key, how to set primary key, okay, how to set data types, how to create and edit a form, then you can click on the link in the description to watch the video. Okay, so now we're going to look at how to perform searches. Okay, to perform searches we need to create query. Now what does query mean? So in database, query is a way to search, okay, to search the database for data, to search and retrieve database from data. And when we are creating query, we can sort the data, we can filter, we can use criteria, okay, criteria to filter data. So if you want to create a report, we need to create a query. If we want to create a label, we need to create a query. So for us to do that, so what we are going to do first is we need to go to create, and then we need to go to query wizard. Okay, so I'm going to be using a past paper to show us how we can actually create a query. So this is the past paper where we need to create a report. But before we create a report, we need to first of all create the query. Okay, so we are creating the query using all of these field names. Okay, so I'm going to click OK. So the field names will be gotten from the two tables that we have here. So I'm going to choose the course name, okay, the student's name, role known, payment type, fees paid, and then let's say course ID, and then next. Okay, so we need to give our query a 1 minute. Okay, because we need to filter this. So fees paid, payment type. I need to make sure that we have those data there. Okay, fees paid, payment type. Okay, next. Then you can give your query a name. Okay, finish. So this is the query that we have created. So now when we create a query, we can actually pull out some records by using certain criteria. Okay, by using certain criteria or by sorting the data. So for us to be able to use criteria, we need to go to the design view. Okay, design view. Okay, so let's say the fees page is no, meaning that I want to see records of those who are yet to pay. Okay, so the fees paid is no. Now when it comes to criteria, there are so many ways, so many examples of criteria that you might be given in IG exam. Okay, and I'm going to be showing you some of them. Okay, so for the text one, the question can say that starts with a name is given. Let's say the name is something. So how to filter that? You need to type the name given and then star. Okay, the star will be at the end. But if the question says it ends with something, then we need to start with star and then something. If it says it contains, include something, then we use star something star. If it says does not contain or does not include, then we need to use not like star the item, the field name, and then the item and the star. If it says is, meaning the exact item, then we use something. We just type the name of the item. Is not something, then we use not like then something. Okay, a filter can be numbers. It can say the number is equal to 10, so we use equal 10. If it says does not equal 10, then we use greater than less than 10. If it says greater than 10 or more than 10, then we write greater than 10. If it says greater than or equal to 10, then we write greater than equal 10. If it says smaller than 10, then we use the less than symbol and then 10. If it says smaller than or equal to, then we use less than equal to 10. Same thing for dates. If you need to filter record, then if it says before certain date, so you put less than the date. After certain date, greater than the date. On a specific date, use equal the date. Between 2 days, then you use between date 1 and date 2. So that's how we filter query. So for example, this question says fees paid is known. So all the field record, the field must show no. So this, for this one, fees paid. So in the criteria, I'm going to type no and click on run. Then as we can see, the field, it's only showing the records, all the records with no. Okay, another example, it says the payment type is check or credit card. So I only want to see data that shows check or credit card. We can see we have cash here. We have check, mobile payment. So we are going to go to the design view and then we type check or card and then run. Okay, as we can see, all the payments shown here is, we only have check. Okay, we only have check. That's why and of course, because we are filtered using no. Okay, let me try. I'm going to try remove this field, this fees paid. Okay, I'm going to remove the filter and then run. Okay, so all of the data shows check. Okay, that means, okay, that's fine. Okay, so when we filter using no, run. Okay, so it shows only the records with no. Okay, so that's how we can create query, okay, and then filter using criteria. Okay, there sometimes the question would say that even though we are filtered using fees paid, but we don't want this data to show. Okay, so we go to the design view and uncheck this box. When we uncheck and click on run, you see that the data is not visible again. Okay, now there's sometimes that the question will say that a specific later in the question, that a specific field should be shown. Okay, let's say gender. Okay, so I'm just going to click and drag gender here. Okay, run, and then I can see gender. Okay, then to sort data. Okay, so let's say this is starting with male. So to sort data, there are two sortings. Okay, we have ascending and we have descending. So if it is dealing with letters, so sorting ascending means A should be at the top, Z should be the last. So from A to Z. Basically, it means for numbers, it means from smallest to largest. And in descending order, it means from Z to A. And then for numbers, it means largest to smallest. Okay, so let's try and sort in ascending. Okay, so we go to design view. So to sort, we can see here that says sort. Okay, let's see which data can we sort. Okay, let's sort the gender. Okay, so we want it from in ascending, and then click run. Okay, we can see now we have all females before male. So this is how we sort. Okay, the next thing we're going to look at is how to perform calculation in database. So we can perform any calculation in database, whether it is multiplication, division, addition. Okay, so let's say I'm using this query. Okay, I'm going to go to the design view. So now I want to have a new field, okay, titled discount. And I'm going to put semicolon. Okay, the new field is called discount, semicolon. Now I want this field, what data should show? I need it to show the cost code multiplied by 2. Okay, so for me to type the cost, I'm going to type cost. I'm going to use the square bracket, the cost code, sorry, cost, then multiply by 2. I'm going to run. Here, as you can see, okay, so it has multiplied by 2. Same thing when we want to do addition. Okay, you can just do plus 1000, run. Okay, and it says that it has, oh, that's 100. Let's see. Okay, plus 1000, run. Okay, we can see, so we can do different kinds of addition. Okay, let's see some examples. Okay, now look at this question. Okay, so the question will give you the field name, like in this paper, right? There says a new field called late payment. So this is a new field name, okay, called late payment, and it should be calculated at runtime. So what will be calculated? The cost multiplied by 1.02, and format this field to display currency. Okay, just like what I just did now. But now I want this field to display currency, because if we are looking at it here, it's not displaying currency. So what we can do is I can go to the property sheet, format, currency, and if I want the decimal place, then click run, and then it shows currency. Okay, so there are so many examples you may be given in exam. For example, I'm going to review about 2 or 3. It says the field name is wage, employee wage. Now this field will calculate the prob wage plus 12% of the prob wage. This is like just normal math. So you need to first of all write the field name, then semicolon, and then prob wage plus 12%. So you need to change this to decimal. Okay, is 0.12. Of means times prob wage. Okay, room cost. This field will calculate the weeks, okay, which is weeks, multiplied by weekly cost. So many kinds of scenarios can be given, and that can be done. Okay, now the next thing we're going to look at is how to produce a report. For us to produce a report, of course, we need to first of all create query. Okay, just like in this question, I already created query. Okay? I mean, not the exact field names, but I created query and I have filtered. Okay, so the report, these are the details that needs to be done in the report. Okay, it says sort data into ascending order. Okay, the page has orientation of landscape. It fits into a single page wide. Now when the question says that it fits into a single page wide, it means that vertically it must not be more than 1 page. Sorry, horizontally, not vertically. Horizontally, it must not be more than 1 page, meaning from left to right. It cannot extend beyond that. Okay, and it says it fits on a single page, meaning that you cannot print more than 1 page. Okay, whether it is vertically or horizontally, it cannot be more than 1 page. So let's use this data to actually create a report. Okay, remember, first of all, you must have create all your query. Okay, so I'm going to be using this query. Okay, so I'm going to click on, then I will click on report wizard. Okay, report wizard, not report wizard. So I'm taking all my data from query 1. So I'm just going to move all. Next. Now, the question says that the data should not be grouped. Okay, this means that the data is grouped. Okay, you just need to select the ones that show that the data is not grouped, which is this. Then next. Now, sorting. Okay, so sort the data into ascending order of level and descending order of course name. Okay, ascending order of level. Okay, I don't have level, so I'm going to just use first name, ascending order, and then descending order of, okay, I'm just going to use payment type, descending. Next. Then the question, you might be given columnar report to make or tabular report. Okay, but in this case, we are given a tabular report. Okay, and the orientation is landscape. So tabular and then landscape. Next. So the name for the report will be given, okay, which is surcharges for outstanding fees. Okay, and then finish. Okay, so your report will look like this. Okay, so make sure that your report, if it says fits on a single page width, meaning that it should not extend beyond this line, so you will need to adjust. Okay, now even this data, right, even though we have arranged it from the query, okay, it will still show in the report disorganized. Okay, so for us to do that, you can always go to the layout view. Okay, let's say I want to have this course ID as the first item here. So I can select this 2 item, okay, click, then press Control, click, and then I can, if I want to expand, I can expand, then I can drag it here, or I can use my arrow button to move it. And then I can move this course ID here. Okay, so I can adjust this like this, one after the other. Okay, you will have to do this in IG exam when creating report. Okay, so sometimes the question might say display in a larger font size, fully visible at the top of the page. So to do that, I need to go to the design view. So I want this to be in a larger font size. So I can select, go to home, I can increase the size. Okay, when you increase the size, ensure that all the data are visible. I can change the background color if the question instructs us to change. Then I can change the text color. Okay, if the question says to be centered aligned, so let's go to the print preview. So this is what it looks like. Okay. Now, in a report, okay, you might be asked to create a label that counts how many records. Okay, create a label that counts how many records, or to find the minimum, the maximum, the average or the sum of that field. Okay, so to do that, now first of all, in the we have the the report header. So in the report header, this is where we can have the logo, the title, the date or time. We have the page header, which is at the top of every page, the headings of the column. We have the details, okay, the parts that shows details, which we have where the data appears. And then we have the page footer, which is at the end of every page. Okay, so meaning that is where you will put your page number, your student details. And then we have the report footer. This is where we do calculations. Okay, so let's say okay, so we can see the report header where we have the title logo, the page header. This is where the header of the field names are. Okay, the field names are. Then we have the details where the data is stored, and then we have the footer, and then we also have the report footer. Okay, so now the report footer, we can only store data that we want to see at the end of the report. Okay, but in the page footer, meaning that on every page we want to see that data. So let's say we need to have our student details in the page footer, so we need to use labels. Okay, and then let's say I want to have Rebecca, my student ID, and my center number. When I go to the print preview, okay, and I go to the bottom, I would see that on every single page. Now in the report footer, we can have what we call count records. We can calculate the minimum, the maximum, the average, the sum. Okay, let's say that we want to count how many records we have here. So we can right click on it and then click on total level. Okay, and then we count records. So if we go to the bottom, we'll see, okay, the total records. Now the question can request that you put the caption. So you can right click and then set caption. Automatically it will appear on the left side, and you can also edit your caption. Okay. Now in the case whereby we want to find the maximum, or in this field, just right click, total, and then the max. Okay, if you go down, it shows that the maximum value is 8, and the question might require you to take a screenshot to show evidence. So you need to go to the design view and you will see the formula here. Okay, so this is it. Okay, so this is the formula, max level. Okay, now in the case whereby you're unable to use in the layout view, where click on this, okay, and all of these are not, you are unable to select them. Okay, you can do that manually by going to the design view, and then you make use of the text box. Okay, you select the text box. So this will be used for the caption, and then this is where you type the formula. Okay, so you say equal mean. Okay, mean, then brackets, square, level, the square bracket, and then close. Okay, and then we go to the layout view, and then we can see, okay, so we have the minimum and then we have the caption box. Okay, so that is how we can create or produce a report. Okay, now let's say the question says to export the data. Okay, export the data and report for use within another package. So I want to export this file. To export this file, I just right click, export. If I want to export as Excel file or PDF or access file or RTF file, then I can choose any of this option. Okay, lastly, we are going to look at labels. Okay, we are going to look at labels. So you can have a question like this, okay, that says to produce a label using all of these details. Okay, so I'm going to show you how to produce labels and how to format the label. So following these questions, we need to first of all create query. When we are producing a label, we need to create query. To do that, create query wizard. Okay, so our data is, we have the course name, course type, start date. Okay, course name, the course type, start date. Then we have first name, last name, street address. Okay, first name, last name, street address. Then we have area and postcode. Area and then postcode. Next. Okay, you can make this query 2 and then finish. So now, of course, in the question we'll be given filter. Okay, so we need to filter the records based on this criteria. So it says the text includes crop. The text includes crop. Okay, we go to design view. The course name include. So according to this, so if it says includes, okay, if it says includes, that means we need to use star, the name of the item, and then star. So star, crop, and then star. So when we run, we can see all of these data here includes the text crop. And then it says the course type is university. So meaning we only want university. If we look at the course type, we can see apprenticeship post 16. So we go to course type and then we only want university. So and then click on run and then we can see we only have university. So now that the query is done, then we can go proceed to produce the label. Okay, so to create label, we need to follow this data, okay, the field names, the way it is arranged, and we need to follow this dimension. So we click on labels. Okay, this is the dimension 99 mm and then 57 mm. Okay, sometimes you may need to scroll up or down to find it. Next. So we need to arrange according to how it's given. The course name, next, and then we press enter. Then we have the course type and start date. Course type, start date. Then we have first name, last name. Then we have street address. We have area, and then we have postcode. And then we click next. Do we have any sorting? Okay, no sorting is given, so there's no need to sort. Oh, sort in the ascending order of last name. Okay, ascending order of last name. Sort by last name. Okay, and then in label you may give any name to the label and finish. So this is what the label looks like. Okay, according to the question, it says that it should be a 2 columns and 5 rows. It should have 10 labels. So if we look at it, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so we have 5 rows and 2 columns, which is correct. And then it says have your name, center number, and candidate number on the left of each label. Okay, so to do this, we need to go to the design view. So on the left, use label, and then you type your name, center number, candidate number. So if you go to the print preview, okay, you should see that at the bottom of each label. Okay, then it says modify the format of the label so that the first 2 lines are displayed in a larger font size, center aligned, and bold. In a larger font size. Okay, so these two, I'm just going to select both and then click on Home, increase the font size. Okay, because the font size has been increased, I'm going to actually select all of these and move them down so that I can adjust this. Okay, so these two has to be center aligned, bold. Okay, so if we go to the print preview, okay, this is what it looks like. Okay, and that's it. Okay, so this is everything you need to know about database chapter 18. Okay, in exam, if you want to print your report or your label, you can just click on print. Okay, if you want to export your labels, just right click, export, whichever file format, and that's it. Okay, thank you guys so much for watching. Please do not forget to like, share, and subscribe.